Hello, my name is Andy Educate. Well, at least Educate is kind of my nickname I've been given over the years while I've been teaching and so forth. Well, welcome to this important lesson. This lesson is really about saying hello, but it really depends where you live in the world and who you're talking to and which country you're in, basically, as far as saying hello. Okay, we're going to go through a number of things. We're going to go through like a more personal perspective and also a business perspective of saying hello. Now, there's so many different ways, and a lot of people can, feel free to use different ways of saying hello, but it also depends. If you are traveling to another country, you should really do some research and find out the greetings in that particular country, so you don't feel embarrassed if you do have a business trip to another country and you do the proper greetings and so forth. Okay, so how do we say hello? Well, in a personal way, if you know somebody, for example, of course you're going to say, "Hey, how are you? How you doing?" and this kind of thing. But if it's business, well, it's going to be a little bit more formal, saying, "Hello, how are you? Good to meet you," or "Nice to meet you," or "How do you do?" which is more formal. So it really depends. Okay, we're going to go into a couple of things first. First of all, let's look at a personal dialogue. Now, this is between a person named Dorothy and another person named Kevin. Let's see what they do on a personal level. Now, this is just a personal level. Some people that know each other. Let's see what they say to each other. Here we go. "Hey there, Kevin. Fancy seeing you here." And then Kevin says, "Yeah, long time no see. What are you doing here?" Then back to Dorothy. "I was in the neighborhood, so I thought I'd drop by." And then Kevin replies, "How's it going?" Dorothy says, "I can't complain. Everything's going well." Kevin, "And how are your parents doing?" Dorothy says, "They're great. My mom is really happy that we live so close now." Kevin says, "Oh, that's good to hear." Dorothy says, "Oh, look, Eric's here too. I'm going to say hi to him." And then Kevin says, "Sounds good. It was good seeing you. See you later." So that's from a personal perspective. So there's a lot of different ways that you can really say hello, and it really depends on many different factors of, like I said, where you're from and who you're talking to and so forth. Just to note that in this dialogue, they've mentioned a couple of interesting words. Even in the first sentence, when Dorothy says, "Hi there, Kevin. Fancy seeing you here." Well, fancy seeing you here. Well, what does that mean? Well, fancy means that, they're surprised. They're surprised about something. So that's an interesting word to use if you want to use it in a dialogue. Of course, it's not really used that often, but it's another way of expressing yourself. Okay, so let's carry on and go forward. Now let's look at the business perspective, greetings from the business perspective, and see what we can come up with as far as different types of greetings. Now, of course, depending on when you're talking to the person, it could be in the morning, the afternoon, the evening, whatever it is. So, of course, you're going to say good morning or good afternoon or good evening, whatever time of the day it may be. And so when you greet somebody the first time, you're going to say, "Good morning, I'm Andy Educate. It's nice to meet you," right? Or, "Good morning, I'm Andy Educate. It's a pleasure to meet you." Okay. And one thing I've learned over the years in business, especially, is that when you do greet the other person and the other person greets you and so forth, that if you have a business card, it's a good idea to give them the business card immediately rather than later. Because it's just customary, really. It really doesn't matter which country at this point in time, in our modern times that we live now, it's better to give a business card immediately so they know who you are, your title is on the card, and all your other information is there. So rather than wait until later, because if you wait till later, maybe you're going to forget. So it's a good idea to really give the business card initially when you, after you've finished the greetings and so on and go forward. Now let's look at a first meeting, an initial meeting. You're meeting somebody for the first time in business. Let's see and take a look at this little dialogue here and see how we can greet somebody initially for the first time. Okay, for example, a formal way of saying something could be, for example, good morning, and you would say your name. For example, I'll just use my name. Good morning, I'm Andy Educate. And then you would say your company information. I'm Andy Educate. I'm from ABC Company, or whatever it may be. Or I work for ABC Company, or I'm with ABC Company, or I'm in charge of whatever it may be. You know, your title for your work. And then I'm responsible for whatever it may be. So initially you can say, good morning, I'm Andy Educate, I'm from ABC Company, and it's good to meet you. Or it's a pleasure to meet you. Okay, so another way is you can initially say, good morning, I'm Andy Educate, it's a pleasure to meet you. Another method is saying, good morning, or good afternoon, good evening, whatever it may be. How do you do? I'm Andy Educate. So these are some different ways that you can use to greet somebody for the first time in business. And now, don't be shy. Don't be shy about doing this. You know, people from around the world use English now, and you can use it as well. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid of making some mistakes. That's how you learn. That's how you grow with your skill. So it's okay to make mistakes. But before you go to any kind of a new country or somebody going to visit you in your country that's from another country, you want to do a little bit of research and find out about the greetings from that particular country, so you can understand a little bit more before you meet that particular person. It just makes a little bit of good sense too, especially in business. So you can try these greetings and see how you do. Practice with each other. You know, don't be shy. I always say, don't be shy, just try. This is really a good way. And really practice with each other if you have a chance. Just practice with each other to develop your skill and this kind of thing. And then proceed when you meet the person for the first time. So it will help you in the long run. And you just need to make sure that it's, you know, you're doing it nicely and politely, and that you give a good impression on behalf of the company that you're working for. Okay, and that's our lesson today for saying hello. And like I said, there's many different ways to do it, and I wish you well. And remember, my name is Andy Educate, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. See you next time.